morning, a crowded passenger plane crashing in the French Alps. We are just learning about this now, and ABC's Lama Hassan will start us off from our London bureau this morning. Lama, what do we know?
And good morning to you, David. Well, this news just coming into us, according to French officials, including the French Prime Minister, who just moments ago spoke, confirming that an Airbus A320, reportedly a German wings plane carrying 142 passengers with 2 pilots, and we understand 4 crew members, has crashed in the southern French Alps. At this point, there are reports it was traveling from Barcelona to Düsseldorf. We have not confirmed that ourselves, but that is what is being reported. And this news, as you know, is just coming into, so we don't know at this point the breakdown of nationalities. We don't know where the passengers are from at this point. David.
Lama, thank you. And as you point out, at least 142 passengers, and as you heard Lama just say there, we don't know the nationalities as of yet. We want to bring in our aviation consultant, John Nance, this morning, a pilot himself, and he's with us on the phone. And John, you know these A320s, how difficult are they to fly?
They are very easy to fly as one of the most ubiquitous jetliners in the world, right up there with the 737. There are about 6,100 of them in operation around the world, 5,000 more on order, and it really is a world standard. So this airplane is in the air all the time, someplace, every day.
A lot of experience flying the A320s. Word this morning, 6,800 feet flying over the Alps. The Alps, difficult terrain to navigate?
Well, we've got Alps going up to 13,000 feet, and 6,800 feet tells me that either it's a routing around the Alps or they were at an altitude that you would not normally expect an airliner like that to be at. We have so little information at this point, it's hard to tell. But that is a low altitude to be traversing any place along the Swiss or the French portion of the Alps.
John, we have a flat map with the flight path right now up on the screen. And again, we believe this flight was going from Barcelona to Düsseldorf. And one of the first things that investigators always look at is the weather. And we don't know yet, John, what kind of conditions they were trying to fly through?
Yeah, we don't know at this point in time. And of course, these aircraft are very resilient. They can fly through ice and most types of storms. There are no hurricanes, obviously. They're in that area. So one of the things that investigators at this point look at is the fact that you really have no idea until you start piecing together a lot of facts, and nobody can rule out anything at this particular point.
How big is the A320, John? We know at least 142 passengers, 4 crew members, but of course that number could change as we get more details. But potentially, how many people could this plane be carrying?
It could easily carry 150, 170. It depends on the precise model. The A320 is the standard. There is a stretched version called the A321, and there are some smaller versions as well. But they, by and large, are about 150 feet long, and they are a single-aisle cabin aircraft capable of carrying about 150, 170 people, depending on the seating configuration.
And John, we'd be remiss if we didn't point out this has been an extraordinary year to report on aviation, the disasters that you have reported on with us here, and now yet another headline this morning about a jet that's perhaps gone down.
The amount of air traffic in the world is still staggering. There's over 93,000 flights over the planet every single day that any of us could buy a ticket on. And relatively speaking, the safety record is incredible. And then you're also going to have a possibility of higher numbers of accidents just because of the number of airplanes. But this has been an extraordinarily disturbing year.
All right, our aviation consultant, John Nance, a pilot himself, with us on the phone. And just to recap here this morning, for those of you watching, just tuning in, breaking news, an A320 believed to be flying from Barcelona to Düsseldorf, at least 142 passengers. And I'm told former Colonel Stephen Ganyard with us on the phone now, Robin, this morning. And Stephen, your first reaction to hearing about this plane disappearing at, as I mentioned a moment ago, 6,800 feet?
Yeah, David, I'm looking at the flight track right now. It's very interesting. As it left Barcelona, it headed off to the northeast. It went out over the Mediterranean, and it was on a normal route that you would expect en route to Düsseldorf. And as it crossed into towards Italy, into the southern Alps, there was a significant altitude change, a huge descent, and they lost radar contact at 6,800 feet. Obviously. Somewhere in the mountains there. So very baffling to see something that would indicate that the aircraft was just fine at altitude en route, and then for some reason a big descent into very high terrain.
People are going to be studying that deep descent all morning long, and we'll have new developments as they come in. Stephen, our thanks to you and to John and to Lama for the breaking coverage this morning.
Absolutely. We will keep everybody updated, David.